to the League of Melanated Gentlemen podcast. My name is Spenser, and I'm one of your hosts on this podcast. And today, as is usually the case, I am joined by the other two members of the League of Melanated Gentlemen who have come here to ensure that your day is filled with joy and excitement because it is time for another draft.
This is Brandon, aka Draft King.
And this is Jordan, aka Take L's.
Alrighty, I love the honesty there.
Yeah, reflection. I like it.
So we're going to see how today goes because today's super subjective. But before we get into today, we must first talk about the past, the present, and the future. Jordan, if you could tell the people where they can find us.
Yeah, so we are on Facebook, on Twitter, on YouTube, and now we're on Instagram as well. You can find us all at the League of Melanated Gentlemen. That is one word, or LMG podcast. You can also try searching that as well. But yeah, we're on there. Be sure like, subscribe, join the Facebook group. That's the big one. We love having conversation with people. So we're all in there. So if you ever want to hit us up, if we had a bad idea, a bad choice, a bad thing we said, let us know. We'd love to hear from you. And yeah, rate, review us, on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or whichever other streaming service you use. And then yeah, what am I supposed to forget? Oh, schedule update. Schedule update. This week we have Brandon with his wrestling podcast. We have Wrestling with Worldwide Willis, which drops on Wednesday. I say it every week. That is the podcast where Brandon reviews, the latest trends in wrestling, gives his top five, his reviews of, the matches for that week as well. And sometimes he has a guest on there. Sometimes he flies solo. But yeah, we have that there. And then also this Friday, we have DC animation with Spenser and friends. Yeah, so don't forget to check that out. Um, we are on there as well. So yeah, be sure and check out all the past episodes that Spenser's dropped, so you can check those out. And yeah, I think that's everything. That's everything.
Alrighty. And so, in today's episode, we will be doing a build a sitcom draft. A few things that you should know. Firstly, we will be drafting 3 characters and a theme song or an intro of some kind from existing sitcoms. There are a couple of rules here. Firstly, we can, as most drafts we do, once a show is selected, no one else or nothing else from that show can be selected. So,
Right.
for example, if the first person selects, let's say the first person selects Frasier from the show Frasier, nobody else from Frasier can be selected, and so forth and so on. So, the reason there aren't any necessarily parameters as far as what characters can be drafted other than that is because we are going to do the draft, so we will each draft our 3 characters and intro. And then, once we have the draft complete, we are each going to pitch our sitcom idea with all of the stuff that we've picked. So, we are only using live action sitcoms, and everybody is on the table. If there are any challenges, we will address those as we come to them. But there are a lot of different directions a sitcom can go. And so that is why this is not a main character, side character situation. That's why it's not a, parent-child, a group of friends. Like, you can draft whoever you want as whoever you want. and you will then build the sitcom with those characters. So we each may have completely different layouts for what our sitcoms are going to look like. The things that we wanted to do may change based on who else gets drafted, all of that. So we're just going to see what happens.
Yes, sir.
Now, as is usually the case, we are going to figure out the draft order live.
Here we go.
Jordan has the wheel that's going to randomize the order. We're going to do a serpentine draft, as we always do. So whoever goes first will go first. Second will go second. Third will go third. At the top of round 2, the third person will go first. 2 will go second. 1 will go third. The top of the third round, etc., etc. I guess without further ado, let us figure out what the order is going to be.
Yeah, traditionally, for some reason, even though it's randomized, Brandon, tends to go last.
Yeah, I get screwed. It's fun.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but yeah, let's just get into it. So, who do you think is going to be first? Going first will be look like Spenser.
God damn it.
every time.
I don't want to go first.
Yeah, that is kind of strange that you always do go first. And I don't know what that's about.
I don't either.
Do you not know what that's about, Jordan? Or
Yeah. I know.
oh wow!
So we got second, Brandon.
Finally.
And of course, last is me, which I actually wanted to go first this time, but
Jordan,
we
I
will
will
see what
trade you.
happens. There's no trades in this, man.
There's no
That's
yeah.
that's just how
Smart though. I like that.
I will.
how the cookies crumbles.
I would love to trade you because I did not want to go first.
Yep.
All right. Well, I guess I'm going first.
Well,
And for my first pick in this draft, I am going to have to go with the one and only Ron Swanson from Parks and Rec.
didn't see that coming. Okay.
I figured either Parks and Rec was going first or another show. So that's fair.
Okay. Ron Swanson. Wait. Oh, okay. I know you're talking about. For some reason, I don't know why he didn't pop in my head originally, but I know you're talking about.
I certainly
He's
hope
funny.
so. He's one of the most popular characters ever to do it.
Yeah, I didn't watch Park and Rec like that, but it was funny when I did watch it.
So yeah, I think you should. It's a good one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I seen the first season because the first season is short, right? It was like the first season I feel like was only maybe like 12 episodes. Like I feel like it was pretty short. But I didn't end up seeing the second season.
I honestly don't remember.
I remember you trashing it, Jordan. If I remember correctly.
I don't think it's as good as The Office, and I feel like it's one of those shows where you're either The Office or you're with Parks and Rec, and I just fall on the side of The Office.
It's usually
But
the
yeah,
case.
and because we used to work in Parks and Rec, of course,
Oh, that's true.
we get the question all the time, like, "Oh, is it just like the show?" It's like, no, nothing like the show.
It's nothing like the show. Yeah.
Yeah, season 1 had only had 6 episodes. Yeah, I remember it was pretty short, and then season 2 had 24. So yeah,
It's because it was
Gotcha.
good enough to get a full season.
Yeah.
yeah. So I guess towards the end, like Spenser mentioned, that we'll kind of go through and talk about our pitch for the show, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
right now we're just building the base, just getting who's gonna be in it or what the um, intro sequence is going to look like, and then from there we will discuss the ideas. And so this will be, light. This will be a draft, and then like there will be some like Feige sprinkled in at the end, and then we'll let the people
Two
decide
favorites.
whose show they want to watch.
Yeah. Okay. I'm the second pick. My first pick in the 2023 Build a Sitcom draft is going to be Sheldon from Big Bang Theory. I'll explain it later as to what I'm going for. However, I think he's a really good character. I think he's great to build off of because he just everything is based off how he interacts with stuff. So I think if you build a solid environment around him, it'll be hilarious. And honestly, he's the only watchable reason to watch Big Bang Theory. So
Okay.
Okay, I support that. And I kind of wonder where you're gonna go because I will say like opening that's not where I thought you were gonna go.
mm,
So I'm interested to see what your sitcom is gonna look like.
yeah, should be. I think it'll be funny, but we'll see.
So okay, I'm up right now, and so I'm trying to see who should I take first because like it's one of those things where I want to take the show off the list, but also I think my other two characters may be safe. Um, I'm going to go with Ava Coleman from Abbott Elementary.
That's a good choice.
Mm.
Um, yeah,
Wait, which
I
one is
wanted to.
Ava the
Ava's the
principal?
She's the
principal. Yeah,
principal.
Okay,
She's the
gotcha.
principal,
it was a
Okay,
and so
very good choice.
I have a specific
I know. I
theme that
think I
I'm
know what
going
you're
for.
doing. Okay,
So
I think I
we
know
will
what you're
see.
doing. I
And
like it.
I knew Greg was also in the show as well as Janine, and so it's like if anybody wanted to get those two characters, I wanted to take this show off the list.
Right.
You get Ava if you use Abbott. Like
I feel like you could
I
also go Greg as well, though.
depending on the kind of show you want to build, yeah, but
True.
like thinking about a show that's going to be funny, you go Ava.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, luckily though, for that show, like you said, yeah, all the really like top tier sitcoms, you got a few different options, and
Yeah.
With
with
that
that
one,
one,
yeah, like
definitely Ava.
you could have taken Barbara.
Yeah,
Like that,
I
there.
actually had her on my list. I was thinking about getting Barbara, and then I kind of switched the way I wanted to, do this show.
Okay.
makes sense. I'm interested. I
Cool.
think I know what you're going, but I'm interested.
I'm back to back. I forgot. Oh,
Yeah,
this is the I'm this is this the first time I'm going third? Like,
yeah,
Probably.
it definitely is. That's how
yeah,
you know you've
this
been
is
screwing people first going
yeah,
third.
this is a new territory for me. Okay. Um my second choice, I'm going to go with Issa Rae off of Insecure.
Okay.
And
Okay.
yeah,
Gonna have a black sitcom. All right.
I mean, we knew
hey
Jordan
man,
was gonna go black sitcom. Man.
I'm building. I'm excited to actually talk about this list too. Did y'all check out Insecure though?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, tapped in, baby. That was one of the best shows of the last couple of years.
Oh yeah.
And I think I mentioned it before. It's like I wasn't watching it, but my wife had like started, and I was kind of watching in the background. It's like, oh, what's going on with her? Like, what? I thought she was dating another dude. And then I wasn't thinking nothing about it. And next thing I know, I was watching it. 75% of it. So
Wait,
yeah.
you didn't watch the whole thing?
I mean, I know what happens throughout the whole thing, but I couldn't tell you like every single like small detail about it. But I know like major things that happened to her,
Yeah, you got
and
to
of
tap
course
in,
the
bro.
ending and everything. Like 75%. That's pretty good.
It's solid. It's solid. I'll give you that. But I mean, to
I'll probably
draft
say
somebody,
honestly, I'll probably say 85%. Honestly, if I'm being honest, it's probably
yeah.
85%.
I was late after season one. I didn't watch it in real time. Then after that, I watched it in real time. But
Yeah,
it makes sense.
yeah.
Makes
So,
sense.
all right, Brandon, you up?
Is it me? All right.
Yeah.
For my second pick, I am selecting Bernie Mac from the Bernie Mac Show. Um,
Sheldon and Bernie Mac is an interesting combination.
yeah,
Yeah, for
yeah,
real.
yeah. That's kind of the foundation. We're building our foundation. I'll pick my foundational players. Now I got to pick some role players.
Okay. Okay.
That's going to be an interesting one.
Yeah,
That'll be fun to hear about.
yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. My second pick should come as no surprise.
I, bro.
Yeah,
When I
I know
say I
who it is
saw
too.
this fan
No, you
in my
didn't.
brain,
No, you didn't.
I know. I already know who it is.
No, you
It
didn't.
has to be the black officer, right?
No. For my second pick, I'm going with Rosa Diaz from Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
I mean, I knew it was
What?
gonna be Brooklyn. I knew it was gonna be Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I thought it was gonna be the officer.
I
You
thought so
would,
too.
because he's my favorite character that exists, but he's not a part of the sitcom that I'm building. So I'm
Wow.
going Rosa Diaz in Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Rose. Okay, the female officer kind of dry humor.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly.
The one with the leather jacket.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Wait, what was your first pick?
Ron Swanson.
Interesting. Too dry. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
See what you're saying.
For my third pick.
I forgot you had back to back.
Yes, I do.
I'm usually first or last. So I don't even know what this feels like.
For my third pick, Ted Lasso. From Ted Lasso.
I've heard incredible things about
Interesting.
that show. I haven't got to see it yet because I don't have Apple, but I've heard incredible things about that show.
Yeah, I've heard good things.
It's one of the shows that cleaned up at the Emmys.
Yeah.
And for good reason. It's a great show. It's a feel good show, but it also addresses some heavy topics from time to time.
So, I feel like I like it.
Yeah. Oh, I think you would.
Yeah.
It's
okay.
It's Ted Lasso, and then it's very British otherwise. So.
Gotcha.
I think between like Ted Lasso and Barry, it's like I need to watch both of those shows because I heard Barry is really good as well.
It is top tier. Okay. Ron Swanson, Rosa Diaz, and now who would you pick? Ted Lasso. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Interesting combination. Okay. 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 All right. We'll continue. I have questions after. All right. My final character pick is going to be T.J. Henderson. Smart guy.
Okay.
Now, this is going to be an older T.J. Henderson, but it's T.J. Henderson.
Okay. Older, like teenage?
More like
grown,
like early 20s, I'd say. Okay. 20. I don't know what age he was at that time, but I'd say between 20 and 25.
So is that about the same age as Sheldon?
Sheldon's going to be around, I think Sheldon's like late 20s, but yeah, around that. Yeah.
Okay. I think I know what Brandon is building, but I guess I have to wait and see. Okay. So my last pick, this is crazy. Like nobody picked any shows that got took off the list. Like we each had something different. Because my last show is going to be last character I should say is Tasha Mack from The Game.
Oh, okay. That's a good pick.
Very black show.
Yeah, you very. What was the dude?
It's woman led. Look at you.
Look at you. Mature. Hey, look at you.
Hey,
women. Hey man, I think this was a little heavy handed there, buddy, but it's fine.
Look at you.
Trying to tap into the crowd.
Yeah, a little heavy handed, but
spread the message.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Damn, that's black. Hey, okay. I knew what you were doing, but now I really know what you were doing. Okay. I like it.
it. So now we're picking songs, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we're picking theme songs.
What are we?
This one is the one.
What's the show going to open with?
That is where
Megan Thee
I'm
Stallion.
conflicted at. That is where I'm conflicted at. So it's either I don't know which one to do. Okay, I'll just have to go with. I guess I got to go with the obvious one, the Girlfriends theme. It was like it was either the Girlfriends theme or for some reason Living Color popped into my head. But then I was like, that one probably won't make as much sense.
I would have said
Living Single.
Yeah, I would have thought Living Single.
But that's what I meant. That's what I meant.
Oh, okay, I got you. You said Living Color, but that's fine.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, it was like, but it's also between those two.
Gotcha.
But I think I'm gonna go with the Girlfriends theme song.
Okay.
I remember they're like.
It's them slowly walking.
Yeah. Okay. I remember I'm trying to remember the song. But...
My girlfriend.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I like it. I definitely.
I'm about to kill y'all. I'm about to kill y'all on this draft. I got crazy. I'm about to kill y'all.
Oh, I cannot wait to hear about it.
Yeah, I can't wait.
It's like it's going to be a good time.
Now, this is tough. A lot of good ones on the board, but I wanted to fit my show. You know what I mean? I could just go for a banger, but if it don't fit, You know what I mean? It don't make
Right.
sense.
Right.
So I'm gonna go with Different World.
Okay.
The '80s version. It's a different world.
Aretha.
Exactly, Aretha Franklin version. Um, just to show, obviously I have some differences between certain characters and others. You know what I mean? We're gonna tap into different worlds. So Different World is my selection.
Okay. Okay. I'm going to go in a very different direction with the opening theme here. I not necessarily specifically because of the song, but because of like the opening sequence.
Okay.
Opening
I'm going
montage.
with I'm going with George Lopez.
That is so crazy. When I was thinking of my show, I was like, I just maybe them jump in the air, but then I was like, that might be a little too perverted. I got all three women. I was like, let me not choose that one.
There are
Your mom would
women
go there.
like
That's hilarious.
George Lopez got a wife and a mom that are in. Okay.
Well, yeah.
Um. Yeah. I'm going with George Lopez because it is it is to be hilariously ironic with the show that I have in mind.
Mm-mm.
So,
I liked it.
yeah. So, to review, my show has in it Ron Swanson from Parks and Rec, Rosa Diaz from Brooklyn Nine-Nine, Ted Lasso from Ted Lasso, and they will be opening with a George Lopez style opener.
Okay.
I liked
Brandon?
it.
Brendan?
Okay. My selections were Sheldon from Breaking Bad,
You
Bernie
mean
Mac.
what?
Hold on,
You
hold on.
mean
Oh, I'm sorry.
Big Bang Theory.
Big Bang Theory. Why I say Breaking Bad? I said that so
All the
casually too. Didn't even
B's.
think
Yeah,
about
you just
it. Sheldon from
Sheldon
Big
in
Bang Theory.
Breaking Bad would be wild.
It would be
yeah,
bad.
that'd be completely
Yeah,
wild.
he
Yeah.
would have messed their whole operation up. Sheldon from Big Bang Theory. Excuse me. Bernie Mac, R.I.P. from the Bernie Mac Show. Older TJ Henderson from Smart Guy with a different world style theme song.
And I have Ava Coleman from Abbott Elementary. We got Issa Rae from Insecure and Tasha Mack from The Game. And going to the theme song of Girlfriends. Brandon, you said you had a question? Didn't you say you had a question about something?
I think my question was only: are the characters okay? No, I guess I answered my question. I was thinking like, are we altering the characters? Are we keeping them pretty much the same? They're just in a different universe, being themselves, essentially, right?
Yeah,
Like,
generally
Yeah.
speaking,
yeah,
yeah.
okay, that's what I thought.
It's them as they are,
Right,
because that's the whole point of the draft is
right, yeah,
taking the character kind of as they exist, and you know, putting them in a different situation is
yeah,
probably fine and expected, but yeah, like they have their same personality pretty much totally.
gotcha.
So, I guess now
Hmm.
for the pitch. Do I need to go first since I went first?
I think so. I'm very intrigued here.
Okay. So, uh, in my show, Ron Swanson and Rosa Diaz are both PIs. So they're both private investigators. And Ted Lasso is their boss.
Okay.
Now, if you know Ron Swanson and Rosa Diaz, they're both very mysterious. They're both very dry. They both hate things in general. Um, and they're both like weirdly skilled in a lot of areas. And I think that those two, as private investigators, would just be really fun to watch because of all of the random skills and stuff that they have. So they would be, doing stakeouts. We would see them, having to gather information, chase people down, just doing all kinds of PI stuff. But Ted Lasso is the nicest dude on earth.
Right,
And the fact that they have Ted Lasso as a boss is just pure comedy gold because Ted Lasso is going to be trying to like keep shit positive and just do things that they're like, what the fuck? This fucking guy. Um, and like he's gonna be just bringing them cookies and just
Yeah,
saying
it's in
random
office
phrases.
parties.
Yeah, and they're gonna have enough of it, but they're gonna love and respect him. It's gonna be a
Yeah,
situation where like we can talk about him, but can't nobody else talk about him.
yeah,
Yeah, he's
yeah,
ours.
So yeah,
yeah.
later in the show there may be a situation where somebody's trying to comfort Ted, and Ron and Rosa gotta handle it.
I
Um,
like it.
Ron and Rosa are going to be, office best friends, but also have like this internal rivalry of like who's better at the job and who gets more done.
Okay.
Hmm.
So it's going to be like, it's going to be a very healthy friendship where they both um, have the same level of disdain for like the world in general.
Right.
And it's going to be a situation where, again, they just have this like weird competition thing, and they're going to have like a point system that they keep track of
Mm-hmm.
for who does better at something. And this isn't going to be just with the PI stuff. This is going to be with everything. Like this is going to be like, oh, somebody's who can change a flat tire quicker, like just random bullshit.
Right.
they're,
Who
they're
can
just
pump the gas the fastest?
yeah, like
Yeah.
just random shit that they just start competing in for no reason.
Right.
And like there's going to be a running score in the show,
Gotcha.
and it's going to be something that like fans can keep up with.
Gotcha.
There are going to be random flashbacks to their past of the random shit that they're doing. Ron Swanson, there's going to be like some undercover shit that they're going to have to do. Like it's just going to be a good time. And again, Ted is their boss, and Ted is gonna have to tell them to like rein it in a lot of times, because they're
Yeah.
gonna be like that. Like Ron's gonna like whip out a bat and be like ready to start some shit. And Ted's gonna have to, hey now.
Yeah. I can see him like being like they're interrogating somebody, and Ted's like, "Hey, you can't do that. Like you're breaking protocol." You
Yeah,
know. Okay.
yeah, like
Question.
Ted doing some, or Ted finds somebody and is asking questions and just being nice about it, and uh the other two were like, just hit him. Like, what are you doing?
Right. Yeah. um. Question. I guess this is a question for everybody when we present ours. Is this a what do you call it? Multi-shot sitcom where like there's no like crowd, there's no
Oh yeah,
there's no
yeah. There's
yeah.
not gonna be. This is a show
Okay.
that is not gonna have an audience.
So it's sort of Brooklyn Nine-Nine style, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And it's going to have um, like random hilarious close-ups and
Gotcha.
whatnot. But yeah, there's just going to be shenanigans and adventure with
Gotcha.
these two very skilled, just dry ass people. And I have in my head that the other PIs that they would be surrounded by are just kind of goofballs,
Hmm.
and or relatively incompetent as
Yeah.
Gotcha.
far as like doing the job.
Right.
So yeah,
I like it. I like
that's
it.
it. And then the George Lopez opening is because since Ted Lasso is the one in charge, and since he's such a nice dude, like he set up a trampoline park adventure, and
They just happen to come across and they start jumping on it, and that's how you get the shots going on.
yep.
Yeah. That's funny.
So yeah, like them jumping on the trampoline, and at first they're gonna be pissed off about it, but you're just gonna
Right.
see them jump up in the air, just arms crossed, mad.
Yeah. That's
And then
Yeah,
Ted
that's
that's pretty
Lasso's
pretty.
just gonna
good.
be in there smiling, just hey.
I
um. So yeah, that's that's the show.
like it. I
Yeah,
like it.
not bad.
Okay.
Brandon, what do you got?
All right. Okay. Let's break this down. All right. Sheldon, obviously a scientist, obviously really well renowned. He gets a job at Howard University, the HBCU, and he is in charge of the STEM program, right? Well, when he gets there, he meets a fellow professor, TJ Henderson. they bond over being, young geniuses as adolescents, and they both made it to this high academic field. And the janitor is Bernie Mac, and he's a retired guy. He's just doing it just because he's retired. You know what I mean? He needs something to fill some time. Um,
And maybe he went to Howard back in
yeah,
the day.
exactly. He's successful, done his thing. He just needs something to fill his time. He wants to be around his nephew. Um, and and so I'm gonna have it to where T.J. Henderson's father unfortunately passed away, but Bernie Mac is his uncle, and that kind of takes over his father figure over T.J. Henderson. And TJ is gonna be like, you know, they're gonna figure out that they're neighbors. TJ and Sheldon are neighbors. And TJ is like, Sheldon's like, yeah, my family, they're back. I forgot where the fuck he's from. I want to say somewhere south.
TJ?
Sheldon's family. I'm sorry,
Sheldon's
Sheldon's
from
family.
Texas, I think.
Yeah, I want to say Texas. And he's like, hey, I'm far from home. Howard is far away from Texas. But
No, he didn't know. He didn't
I
know.
know it's on the East Coast, southern East Coast. I want to
I want
say,
to say it's in DC, but don't quote that.
yeah,
I don't know either.
I know it's East Coast.
I
But
want
he's
to
like,
say
hey,
DC.
family's far away. I don't have anything to do for family to be with on Thanksgiving. TJ's like, come over to my house. And he's like, come over to, the black folks' house, get you, culture a little bit. So Sheldon goes over to TJ's family's Thanksgiving. And of course, Bernie Mac is there. And so Bernie Mac and Sheldon start talking about different things. You know what I mean? Bernie don't give a damn about none of that STEM stuff that he's talking about. And so they start, discussing politics, discussing a bunch of different things. And it's just a hilarious conversation between the two. And essentially the show is just going to be, it's sort of like Different World, right? Where we're, one of the environments is the college, right? They're going to be in the classrooms. Bernie going to be walking through while Sheldon's letting out a class or talking to his class. Bernie going to be undermining Sheldon, whatever Sheldon said. You know what I'm saying? Cracking jokes on him. Classic Bernie Mac shit. That's going to be like one of the main environments. Then the other environment is going to be at TJ's house because Sheldon never wants to be alone, always dependent on other
Yeah.
people to do stuff for him. So he's gonna really dependent on TJ because he understands being a genius and all those things and his little ticks, and he'll be over there. And yeah, I just think it'll be a hilarious show to have Sheldon. First of all, in a black environment, we know Big Bang Theory. One of the biggest flaws of it is there's no black people. There's no diversity. He never has to run into anyone who is different from him, and it's bad. We've talked about this. It's a bad representation of nerds. And where in this case, he can see a nerd who's still cool, who still has a life, who's still, you know what I mean? Normal
Yeah.
guy. He's just really smart and,
That's what I like about it is that
yeah,
like he will get to see TJ just be regular,
exactly.
but have the highest IQ.
Exactly. He'll see the other side of what nerds are really like. Most nerds are really like. They're not this antisocial. You know what I mean? A lot of them got good friends, family. They still live their life, still got a family, all those things.
Right.
And so I think it'll just be hilarious. And then seeing Sheldon's point of views challenged by sort of like a Carmichael show level, right?
Yep.
Where the dad in Carmichael show is challenging everything, right? Nothing is black and white. Nothing. He's not a Democrat. He's not a Republican, but he's going to challenge everything. And I think those conversations will be hilarious because Sheldon going to bring all facts. He's going to bring like statistical data, and Bernie Mac don't give a fuck about none of that. Like
That's what I like. I want to see Bernie Mac interact with both Sheldon and TJ.
right.
I think that'd be pretty funny. Like that's where you got me at.
Yeah, he's gonna be talking about how they don't get no girls. They didn't get no.
Definitely.
Yeah,
And that's
like
one of the things that will be funny is like seeing somebody at Howard interested in Sheldon.
yeah. Like, what if
Or
a black lady?
Sheldon interested
yeah.
in the girls at Howard, like or
Bro,
the other professors.
yeah, a black
that's
woman.
that's a good point.
Yeah, a fine black woman trying to holler at Sheldon. Sheldon doesn't get any cues. He doesn't understand any of that stuff.
He has no idea what's happening.
Yeah, Bernie gonna be like, yo, she trying to holler at you, my God. Like, what you doing?
It's like, no, she was
So,
just asking for directions, and I just wanted to
yeah,
point
he's
her in the
like,
correct
no, she
direction.
just, yeah, she asked a very factual question. I just give her a yes or no answer. You know what I mean? So I think it'll be really funny. I do want it to be a classic sitcom. So I want to have an actual live crowd, you know what I'm saying, laughing at jokes and stuff like that.
And with a show
Um,
like that, you can absolutely do that because
right.
that's going to be either at the college or at the house.
Exactly. Yeah. So I think we got two different sets. Have a live crowd there, just like Carmichael show. We're kind of using that as a template. Like Carmichael show actually had a crowd there. You could hear them laughing, like when they wasn't supposed to be laughing. You know what I mean? That type of stuff. So I think it'll be pretty good. TJ have a family, so we'll add other characters in there. Kind of like you guys, like
Oh,
you'll add characters around it. But I think that'll be like the main relationships we'll have.
Yeah.
I like that.
Okay. The moment we've all been waiting for. You know, you guys were the warm ups. This is the real
Getting
attraction.
cocky, bro. You took a bunch
I
of
know.
L's. I just want
I know.
to.
I'm
You
a,
got
I'm
to
a fumble.
deliver
I'm
on
a
this.
fumble it along the way.
You got to deliver on this. You talking?
I got to the 10-yard line, got to the 5, and the fumble at the 1.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. But we'll see what happens. So my show. So I'm about to paint a picture. I'm trying to decide between living in LA or living in Chicago. I kind of like the LA feel of it, kind of laid back more versus the kind of Chicago, east side of things. So yeah, we're gonna be set in LA. We got Ava and Tasha. They're both working also at a university. Well, I can just call it. They're just working together. I think it works better as university as we go on. But yeah, so they're both working together. They both notice, they both dress real nice, and we're gonna say they're 10 years older than Issa before they meet Issa. Um, but they working together. Both of them like to crack jokes. Ava is very much a jokester, and also Tasha is like she was like crack an actual joke on, like she might really roast you. So that's
Yeah.
how they became really good friends from working years with each other. And then they get a new hire. Issa comes in. Issa is also well dressed. They notice that she's well dressed, and also she starts cracking jokes as well. So it's like they found like a new friend group, and so through the course of just working together, they decide to, hey, let's all be roommates and let's see how that work out. So they're roommates, they're in LA, obviously they're on a dating scene, so they're going to come in contact with, all different types of guys. Um, Ava, of course, and Tasha are going to be the ones saying, "Oh, he looked good. He looked good." And Issa's like, "I mean, I don't know. His head kind of big. Like, I don't think he, look all that cute." And so this show is going to be it's going to be a comedy, but of course it's going to have like more of the more serious tones of it. With dealing with black women and the stuff that they go through as far as like on the workforce, dealing with dating with guys, just kind of dealing with it all. Also, I have a funny episode just because I enjoyed the show, but so they come into all three of them come to contact with this guy. We'll just call him we'll say Common, because Common always likes to pop up in these random shows where he's the man. So let's say Common pops up. Uh, he's looking at Issa. So Ava and Tasha tell him to come over. Common and Issa gets to dating, and Common brings her back home. And on the couch, he sees the dog from Wilford. Did you guys ever watch Wilford?
No.
Do you guys
No.
know him? Do you guys know?
No.
Okay. So Wilford is also another sitcom where this guy is dressed in a dog suit and is with the dude. What's
Oh,
Frodo's name in
that
real life?
dude,
Yeah,
Elijah Wood.
Elijah Wood. Okay, so so in the show, Wilford is actually a dude in a dog costume, but Elijah Wood sees him as a no. Everyone else in the world sees the dog. Elijah Wood sees him as a dude in the dog costume, and so this whole time, Common is like talking to this dude dog, and like he Common thinks he's a regular dog, but Easton's like, why is this dude in a dog costume? And they're like, do you not see them? Like, and he's like, no, this is my dog. And like the dog is like the dude in the dog costume is like talking to Easton like, man, you should have seen the girl he just had over the other night. And so like Common thinks it's just a normal dog. She sees the dude and she's like, yeah, this is uncomfortable with me. And so they just have like some crazy interactions, and so she just ends up leaving. Um, yeah, so like I said, I think having a funny aspect of the show, but then also having like the more serious of the show, it would be like a great thing. So I was kind of combining kind of Insecure along with Abbott Elementary. So like the two of them, so at work they're obviously going to be working, but also going to have some funny interactions, talking about the other coworkers, talking about the students that's in the classrooms and everything, the other university kids, hitting the coaches hitting on them, and just things like that. Um, yeah, that's what it is, and I like to include like other get other celebrity cameos in there,
Right.
um, some other brothers is coming through there, and I think it'll be a really, really good show. And I just think like all three of them together, just straight cracking jokes, like they are some of the best, joke crackers. Is that a word? Joke crackers, cracker jokes.
Yeah.
They some of the
Roast.
best roasters. That
Yeah.
some of the best roasters, female roasters that would
Yeah.
definitely have you laughing. Like they got definitely some good one liners in there.
Yeah. I like the dynamic between the three. I think that's the main thing I would enjoy.
Because the two older ones are obviously trying to show Issa, like we're obviously still more mature than you, but also we can still learn a lot from you because you are still young.
Yeah.
Okay,
So,
Brandon. Jordan just kind of threw in some other things. I'm not
oh,
gonna
y'all
throw a
jealous?
flag on that. No, I'm not gonna throw a flag on it. But I wanted to ask if you wanted to add any other elements to your show from other shows, since we're
Oh,
doing
because
it right
y'all
now.
don't think about y'all didn't think about that, huh?
I mean, that wasn't in the rule book, but I mean,
I mean, I just said the guy in the dog costume, and I just made the reference of where the idea came from because it'll be a hilarious episode.
I'm okay. I'll let it ride just because I'm comfortable where my pitch is. I'm okay. Now, Spencer, if you want to add anything, you have the right to do so since
Where
Jordan.
where y'all where location at? Where y'all set at?
Mine
Uh,
will likely be set in New York. I feel like there's a lot to privately investigate in New York.
yeah, mine
Yeah,
is
like every other cop show.
Howard University, wherever that is. I want to say it's DC.
I really feel like it's DC. Um, and I mean, with
It is.
mine, I would also, because one of the episode ideas that I have that would be like an extended situation would be, they get hired to, private investigate for somebody very powerful, and then they find out some shit, and then that powerful person starts to blackmailing and starts to bribing and starts to, trying to hide what they have found and be nefarious. And whenever they refuse to do it, then they start making their lives difficult. And yeah, I could definitely see, even though it's a comedy, we gotta have some serious episodes in there, and we gotta have some like part one, part twos.
Oh yeah, you
Yeah.
got to classic.
Yeah, so I could
Yeah,
definitely see like there's a senator who's having an affair, and the wife hires them to investigate, see what they can find out. The senator then discovers that he's being investigated and that they have the evidence, and so he makes an attempt to bribe them.
mm,
It doesn't work, and because it's Rosa and Ron, like there's nothing that the senator can do to scare them.
right,
Like the senator, like he's gonna send
They probably
goons
don't care about
after
their
him, and he's
job.
gonna, yeah, like he's really gonna try, and they're just gonna be unbothered.
right.
So then they try to go after Ted to get Ted fired, and then it gets serious.
Right. I
Let
like it.
me let me ask y'all. So since we got a Feige hat on, once again, what network are y'all pitching to? Y'all know what streaming service y'all want to hit up? What network
Nigga
y'all trying to
Jordan
hit
gonna be
up?
on BET. Nigga Jordan gonna be
Yeah,
on.
will absolutely be on
Come
BET.
on, don't do that. Don't do that.
Um,
uh,
I that's a difficult question. Because a part of me would want to pitch to Hulu, but
Hmm.
a part of me would want to pitch to like Fox.
I was thinking
mm,
ABC for you. Like for some
yeah,
reason, I just feel like ABC for that show
yeah,
But
or NBC,
yeah,
but
like in
ABC.
probably NBC is pretty like known for cop shows with Law and Order being there.
yeah.
But yeah, I'd kind of want to pitch it to Hulu. That way, I'd have the freedom to rate it higher.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Because I feel like a Ron and Rosa show should be rated a little higher.
Or like, I can see your show on like FX, maybe like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
FX would be a good
ooh,
one.
like Mr. In Between.
yeah,
Ooh,
like they got a lot of like
yeah.
solid sitcoms that are clearly sitcoms, but they're older crowd, higher rated. You know what I mean?
And it would still be on Hulu. Yeah, FX might be the move.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
FX is the right place for that.
Um, I'm probably going NBC just because get that syndicated money. You know what I mean? And then and then we'll end up on Paramount or Hulu, one of the two.
NBC is Peacock.
Oh, that's
Yeah, I
right,
was gonna say, I
Peacock.
think that's Peacock. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I'm cool with that. We don't have a lot of sports, you know what I mean, in our way.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
wrestling.
saying? Yeah, just wrestling, and weekly. Come
I
on,
mean,
like
nobody's
every like.
watching wrestling. Nobody's really watching wrestling like that
I
anyway
mean, for
nowadays. So.
Peacock, they're going to be watching on like pay-per-views, but that's like a weekend. You know what I mean? That's once every month. So yeah, we'll kill it. I think we do have NFL to compete with, but that's neither here nor there. But
Probably gonna be on
no,
like a solid Tuesday night, 8 p.m. time
nah,
slot.
we're gonna be right before Monday Night Football. We're gonna be on Sunday nights. We're gonna be killing. Jordan, what was your channel? I think
I
we
mean, this dude said BT. I didn't. BT didn't even cross my mind. I would have went to
you
all these
wilding.
other stations. No, I would HBO. I
Yeah,
would
like
have to go HBO.
I feel like your show would be on Stars.
Yeah. Either one of those HBO stars, because like it's going to be more adult oriented.
Oh
Obviously, going to
yeah,
be
you're
dealing
gonna
with
be having
sexual stuff. So
dudes'
yeah, I'm like,
asses out there. Yeah, you're right.
right. I don't know
Yeah,
why dude's ass was out there, but I
I'm just
mean,
saying
why couldn't it
that's
be?
what Insecure they was
Because
known for like
you
showing
can
dudes' asses.
like you can do that on like nobody
Yeah,
cares.
HBO.
No, yeah, on man ass is fine on TV.
Right.
So yeah,
Yeah. I was definitely thinking like HBO. Like
I was saying
that's like
if it's a woman led show, then you got to be cool with that, Jordan.
you're right. I can get behind some nice man ass.
All right. All righty. That's where
That
you
whole
cross the line,
sentence,
buddy. Yeah, okay. Hey,
everything
we're
about
gonna
it.
clip that. We're gonna clip that. For sure.
That would
No,
actually
no,
be an
no, no.
excellent
Leave it in.
clip.
Leave it in.
Yeah, we're gonna clip that in and we're gonna put that on the IG.
My wife can be like, what was this?
Yeah, because out of
Like
context. Oh
I said they
god.
took it out of context.
Yeah, we keeping it strictly that sentence. That's it.
Oh god. Look
That's
at us being
hilarious.
inclusive and progressive.
I know,
Look at
right?
Jordan.
I know.
Jordan has grown so much.
So much.
Yeah.
Um.
So you got a question? Because I got a question too.
Okay, I was
What's
gonna do a
yours?
quick serious because we all did a kind of a serious episode pitch. I was gonna do quickly that like I was gonna say TJ for my show. TJ is a professor of African American studies, right? And so he takes his class and like his class to the African American Museum, which is in DC, and he asks Sheldon to come along with him. Sheldon, very black and white, very analytical mind. He sees some of the stuff and starts doesn't make like racist comments, but makes like comments that are like maybe a little like, without
Insensitive.
context. Yeah, a little without context. You're like, wait, you know what I mean? Hold on now. Like, this is not how it went. And so it could be a cool episode of like, TJ and Bernie Mac breaking down like, the struggles of black people, what happened, breaking down cool, kind of like what Blackish does. Like they break down, history in a really cool way. And I think it'd be a really cool episode to like break down. Because, Sheldon grew up in Texas. He ain't around black people.
I would love for Bernie Mac to be the one spearheading that.
Yeah, exactly.
Because Bernie Mac could talk about what he's been through
Yeah.
and how it was not that long ago.
Right.
And it could be a situation where Sheldon doesn't know what to do with the fact that he's a genius and is learning. Like he did not know this.
Exactly. That's the key. Is like, how was he? He knows all this information, but how was no one taught him this information? Basically.
Yeah. And the fact that he grew up in Texas can, lend to that.
Exactly. Yeah, I think it'd be a cool like development episode for Sheldon to be like, first of all, understand the context, but also like, why the hell haven't I learned this when when I was taught all these great important things, but I wasn't taught one of the most important things in American history. So,
Okay, so we picturing a serious episode. You got one, Spencer?
That was like
yeah, he gave one.
yeah, with the they investigate a senator who's been
Oh, yeah. I
unfaithful
forgot
and
about that.
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, most episodes will be shenanigans.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jordan, I had a question. Okay, yours is in a university, right? Yours is in college environment.
Yeah, so like they're in LA, so what like USC is like where they work at. But then outside
Gotcha.
of that, where's USC at? USC is not in
It's in
LA.
LA.
Santa Cruz.
Yeah, it's like outside
Did
LA.
I just make
It's
that
in
up?
LA. Yeah, it's in LA. It's like Southern University of Southern California.
Oh,
So
yeah,
it's like,
absolutely
Okay.
LA. I'm
So yeah,
sure there's a University of Santa Cruz.
so that's where
I
they
think there
work
is.
at, but they're also like still cruising, downtown LA and city life as well.
Yeah, I can definitely see it.
So my serious episode would be an episode dealing with loss. So Tasha, I'll say that she's like a little bit older than Ava. One of the episodes is revealed that she ended up losing her husband. So like everyone thinks they're single the whole time because like all these girls will be single, but then it's revealed that Tasha actually lost her husband like due to like some sickness or something like that.
Is it
And so
Pookie?
like
It's
no,
punk ass
yeah,
Sorry to throw off your serious
punk
episode.
ass Chauncey. Yeah, come on,
Yeah,
man. I'm trying to be
Chauncey. Yeah.
serious. Taking
Also,
jokes. So she ends up losing her husband, and so they are learning how to deal with grief because Issa jokes about she wish like her ex boyfriend had died, but then Tasha's like, "You say that, but you really don't know what that comes with or what that means," and so it's
yeah,
revealed that she actually lost her husband, before they all three of them ever met. And so that
yeah.
would either be my serious episode, either that or like dealing with the loss of like a child,
Mm.
which that could be, either way through abortion
Look
or
at
through
Jordan.
miscarriage or anything.
Look at you, man.
Yeah, bro.
Dude
This
hates
is the new me.
female-led properties, but then
Oh
also
my gosh.
tapped in with female-led things. Good
I
for
mean,
you,
and they
man.
Here we go. Here we go
all
with this.
we could talk about like all three of them could have a loss of some kind, and they're able to bond over that.
Yeah, I do like that. Tasha Mack is the one that I would if I watched that show, I'd be interested in her like character-led, episodes because Tasha Mack isn't the type of person that like lends to like background, like kind of
Yeah.
mysterious. You know what I mean? Nobody, just like in the game, nobody knew what the hell she was doing to do all the stuff in the back, like in her past. But you know what I mean? But yeah, I'd be interested in that.
We don't find out who Malik's daddy ever was, do we?
Nope. They mention it, but they don't ever. Yeah, they never like disclose
because
who
she
it
lost
is.
him. She lost him. That's why.
Making up stuff.
Okay. Oh, and that would also be funny if in the
connection to the game.
Well, if in the show Tasha Mack has a son that is interested in Issa, that dynamic.
Because he plays football at USC.
No, that'd be weird.
Player at USC.
He got to be older. He can't.
No, but that's. I think that's what would make it funny because I was just talking to somebody about how a young man got her number, and she was like, "How old are you?" And he was like, 24.
Yeah, I'm like, you can be like a 31-year-old professor, and then have like a 21-year-old student hitting on you.
Because that's normal,
right? They're in college.
Maybe. Yeah. Okay.
And yeah, like as a college student, he's like, I'm ready, and she's the one who's like, "You're a baby." He's like,
right.
Nah.
Yeah, I feel like Tasha would be like, "Hell no, no,
that's
we're not having
why
this."
It would be funny.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how often. I don't know if this happens often, but every child. Well, I'm not gonna say every child, but there are a lot of situations where like your mama will have a friend.
Oh yeah.
And you're like, whoa, like who this dude?
Yeah, we're not related, right? Like, just gotta double check.
You're not an auntie. You just my mom's friend, because I know that my mom had a friend, and that was how I knew. Like I was like, yep.
That's how I knew. You stupid, bro.
No, I mean, yeah, no, my mom's friend, and Yeah, I mean, and
Yeah,
that's the thing. Like now, even though she's older, like she still looks great. So I was right.
Yeah, that's funny. That's how I do. It's good.
let me ask you who was the first character you like thought. So when we thought of this idea to come up with this episode, who was the one you're like, oh, I have to start with them?
Rosa was my first.
Who was your
Uh,
first?
I was a little more basic, and then I broke it down from there. Like starting off, I was like, classic like Martin, Will. You know what I mean? But then I
Yeah,
was like, that I don't think it's as interesting with those type of characters.
yeah,
I immediately knew that I wanted to build a show around Rosa because of the character that we get from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Like, there's a lot we don't know about Rosa, but Rosa is a very intricate character,
Hmm.
and seeing her, like, because in Brooklyn Nine-Nine, she like leaves the police force,
Mm.
and I was like, but Rosa still has all of the skills,
All right.
and Rosa can get a lot done. So I immediately knew that I wanted Rosa, but I was trying to decide who would I put around her.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, Rosa was immediate, and then whenever I was like, oh, obviously Ron Swanson, because initially I was gonna give her Dorothy from the Golden Girls,
That would have been good.
just because they're both super cynical, but
Yeah.
Dorothy, it would have been a different show if I
Yeah,
would
it
have used
definitely
yeah,
would
Dorothy. Like they would have been roommates if I would have used Dorothy.
have. Right.
But yeah, I wanted somebody that she could work alongside that was equal to her in some form.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And and Ron was the guy that I was like, "Oh yeah, like Ron could hang with Rosa and Rosa could hang with Ron." But there are not very many characters that I could say that about for either of them.
Yeah.
They can absolutely hang with each other and they're in the same uh like level of comedy. They're in the same level of like random skill and like just the ability to be lethal if they need to.
Hmm.
And yeah, all that. And then I was like, I want them to have a boss that is completely opposite.
Right.
Like, I want them to have somebody that is just wildly different than they are. And so the other option that I had was Moira from Schitt's Creek
Oh yeah. Okay.
because
that's another
she's
good show.
she
It
is
is.
hilarious and super eccentric and just ridiculous.
Hmm.
And to have her, because the idea with her would have been that like it's her firm, in that like
Hmm.
because she has the money, she opened up a PI firm for whatever reason,
Hmm.
and so she's at the top, and they have to report to her, and it's just hilarious
Right.
because Moira is absurd, and I love her so much. And
It's a good show.
yeah, some of the stuff she would have them doing is just, yeah, that would have also been good. But I feel like with Ted, I can keep it a little more grounded as far as like why they would be interacting directly with him,
Hmm.
Yeah,
and he can have a little more involvement with the day to day.
That makes sense.
I was,
Jordan,
I was,
who's
yeah.
your?
So for me, like my first choice was actually Michael Scott, but I knew I wanted him married to like a black woman. So then I was like, oh, how would he interact with Ava? So then when I was looking at the black women, I was like, wait a minute, let me change this idea. So like Ava was like my first choice, and I was like, okay, what other black woman can I put her with? I was like, all right, I really like Insecure. Let's throw her with Insecure. Then I was like, what woman kind of matches their energy and matching? They love to dress as well. And I was like, oh, Tasha. I was like, okay. So then I took all three of them. I was like, okay, I can build from here. So yeah, originally Michael was my original pitch or ideal character that we had, and then Ava came right there. And I
Makes
will
sense.
say, like, budget for my show, clothing wise, about to be crazy. Because these
Yeah.
girls gonna like, going out to the bar, to the club, they like just dancing and being them. So they gonna
Yeah.
have on some crazy outfits.
Your budget in general gonna be solid because
Yep.
you gotta get the right hairdresser. You gotta get
Oh yeah,
makeup game got to be tight.
accessories.
Yep.
Yeah,
And
everything.
the show that you're pitching, I don't know if I mean there will obviously be some differences, but there's a show that Megan Good is in on Amazon
Mm,
that I want to say is called Harlem, and it sounds like your show will be similar to that one
gotcha.
I
because
didn't know. I
that's
didn't even know Megan Good was still around.
yeah, and she looks the same, so you know.
Yeah. I I'm trying to think. Okay, my first originally I thought, the basics. Then I broke it down. I was like, all right, I need a character that like I can build off of, has some clear flaws, some stuff to play off of. Thought of Sheldon because as we've talked about 1,000 times, Sheldon is the clear star of Breaking Bad, but the rest are kind of like, who
Bro, why do you
cares?
keep
Saying
saying
Breaking
Breaking Bad?
Bad.
I literally just thought in my head, don't say Breaking. I don't know why I do that. Big Bang Theory. Anyways, like we know Big Bang Theory is like filled with, very forgettable characters. And Sheldon's like the star. There's literally a lot of people just think of it as Sheldon show. Like they don't even
That's
call
why
it what
he
it is.
got a spinoff at when he was
Exactly.
a child, which
Right.
I wondered if you were going to go in that direction.
I thought about it. I thought about going young TJ. I thought about it. For a quick
That's what I
second I
thought you.
did.
That's what I thought you was going to. Yeah,
Yeah, I
Because
thought about it.
whenever you said Big Bang Theory and not young Sheldon, I was like, okay,
Yeah.
he's going in a grown direction.
Yeah. Just because I wanted a little more serious topics. And so and I was like, all right, I gotta get somebody who's totally opposite of Sheldon. And I thought of the Dad from Carmichael show. Then I was like, not enough people know him. I need a little bit of star power. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, Bernie. Bernie's the perfect guy.
That was a good choice.
Yeah, Bernie's a
yeah.
perfect guy. And then I was like, I need a side, not a sidekick, but a really important character as go to. And then perfect TJ. He lived a lot of the same experience as far as being a young genius. I was like, cool. They can be in a black, and I thought we got to put him in a black environment. We got to get Sheldon around black people. Like that's the goal of this show, to educate Sheldon, get him around some black folks. We love Sheldon, but he's been around, very comfortable. So yeah, him being at a university makes very, very, very much sense. And yeah, that would just be hilarious because he would have to read like black people's slang. He just wouldn't understand any of it. You know what I'm saying? Like tapped in, he'd be like, "What do you? I don't understand." You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that.
Like,
So
what are you tapping? Like, what do you mean
yeah,
tapped
like
in?
I can see
yeah,
him
like
having like a little notepad of phrases.
yeah, like
Yeah, or like he opens up an app and just keeps notes like tapped in
yeah,
means.
exactly.
I mean,
Yeah.
like,
Actually, yes, I could see him like speaking into his phone as a reminder to himself,
Right.
like add tapped in to the list,
Yeah.
and then eventually TJ is like, what are you doing?
Right. Yeah. But
I will say I think it's interesting that all three of us kind of went with, well, I definitely went with workplace comedy. Um,
mm,
I feel like y'all went more like adults just in the world, so like
yeah,
ensemble friend group.
yeah,
yeah.
I just knew in my heart that Brandon was gonna go in like a Boy Meets World direction.
I knew y'all was. I knew it.
A
I
coming
know
of
Listen, I
age
love it.
story.
Yeah, I'm like I love a comedy. Yeah, you know that. But sitcoms, I love a good, day to day regular folks, neighborhood, the neighborhood, shows like that, like good day to day stuff. I feel like it lasts a little longer. Whereas I like it, but sitcom is just tough to do. And I'm very much a pro like old school laugh track, not laugh track, but like a crowd.
The background noise, the
Yeah,
background laugh.
exactly.
I mean,
Yeah, and it's just tough to do that with like a high school show. I don't know, just don't hit. And I want my jokes to be want to hit a little bit.
a little older.
Yeah, I want to make a
And
did
couple.
y'all?
I mean, putting Sheldon in a room full of black folks, yeah.
Yeah, I want to make white folks a little uncomfortable. I want them to laugh, but then be like, hold on.
Like,
Like, hold on. What is he saying here? You know what I mean?
what do you mean by that?
Yeah, exactly.
Did y'all have any other characters that you thought about adding? Like honestly, I almost went with a cartoon sitcom. I was thinking of doing that. Like I was thinking of taking Huey, Cartman, and
It was against the rules,
Rick.
sir.
Yes, I was
Yeah, I
absolutely
know.
against the rules.
I got you.
I know when we first mentioned, like I was like, oh, maybe I'll throw that because I wanted to get Huey and Rick together. That's what I really wanted to do.
Gotcha.
But then I started like looking at other characters. Like I almost took uh dang, what's his name from Arrested Development, the brother who painted himself blue.
I know who you're
Jeez, I
talking about,
can
but I don't know his name.
yeah, Tobias. That's the name. Almost went with Tobias, and I almost went with Jim from The Office. I was thinking of putting him, and then also with
I thought for
Fresh Prince.
sure
Like
you
I
were
also
going
thinking
there.
about some.
Yeah, like I knew The Office was going
Yeah,
to be involved with yours.
I
Yeah.
and that's like I said. I had Michael Scott at first, being married to a
Right.
black woman. So yeah, and then I was like, oh, let me go. Let me pivot this way.
There are a lot of people that crossed my mind, but because one of the ideas that I had was giving them a very different style of boss.
Mm-hmm.
So somebody who was, I guess, a little more ruthless,
Mm-hmm.
just to see how that dynamic would play out. So like, not necessarily ruthless, but like George Jefferson crossed my mind for the boss.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Ava crossed my mind for the boss
Oh yeah.
because Ava being their boss would be hilarious. Phil Dunphy being their boss would have kind of been in the same Ted Lasso
Yeah, it will. Yeah.
area.
Who's that?
Phil Dunphy is
Modern Family.
Modern Family.
The
Oh,
dad.
gotcha.
Um, Beverly Goldberg from the Goldbergs
Mm. Okay.
because she's so funny. Like she's another one of those characters. It's like she is perfect at her job.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, like I really, I guess coming another person who crossed my mind to be their boss was Lucy from I Love Lucy.
From
Oh,
I
for
Love
real.
Lucy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
That
I
would
like
have been
Lucy.
real random too.
yeah,
That'd be
like
funny.
I thought about like I just need somebody that's very different from those two.
Yeah.
And there were a lot of directions I could have gone, but generally speaking, I knew what I was going to do there. But if hypothetically I had been in a situation where I couldn't use, because I knew I was going to draft Ron first,
Mm.
because Ron is the more popular character. And so, as far as like draft strategy,
Right.
I needed to get Ron off the board because I felt pretty okay with y'all not knowing Brooklyn Nine-Nine well enough
Yeah.
to pull it
I
off.
mean, we knew you were going to Brooklyn
Yeah.
Nine Nine no matter what.
Oh
I booked
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
Yeah.
and that's the thing. Like I didn't
we
know
should have took
if,
it.
and that's the thing. Like I didn't know if it was
It
gonna be a
was on my
situation
board.
where you
Oh,
took
I
it
should.
just so
We
I
should have
couldn't
just took
have it.
it.
But
Yeah.
if that had happened, then I would have had to pivot, and
Yeah.
I probably would have paired Ron up with someone that wouldn't complement him well. So somebody that he would clash with. And I had two options for that. I was either going to pair him with Barney from How I Met Your Mother,
Mm.
or I was going to pair him with Selena from Veep. So the main character from Veep.
Yeah.
Julia
Nice.
Louis-Dreyfus' character.
Yeah.
And it would be them just clashing all the time,
Yeah. I can see
as
that.
opposed to working in the same direction. And like having a healthy rivalry, it would have been like a real like I hate you.
Yeah. I hate this. I for main character, if I didn't do Sheldon, I would have did Schmidt from New Girl.
I'm surprised
I'm
New
surprised.
Girl wasn't involved.
Yeah, I thought one of y'all for sure was going New Girl as well.
So I was gonna go Schmidt for Sheldon, or keep Sheldon and instead of doing TJ, do Winston.
Yep.
I thought about going that route, but just TJ was just an opportunity, a genius. I couldn't pass that one up. But yeah, I definitely was like hard looking for a way to fit in New Girl somewhere.
If I see, and that could have worked because since Winston is very clearly not a genius, it
Right.
could be a situation where Sheldon and Winston grew up together.
Yeah.
That's why they're friends.
Right. Right. I was just like, Winston ain't gonna be at college. That nigga ain't got no business around young people.
I would want to see, I'd want to see because we only see Sheldon interact with other geniuses.
Yeah, sure.
I'd want to see him like dealing with regular people.
Right.
So even if you like, you could, I would pair him with somebody like Joey from Friends, or
Yeah.
like one of those people who's like the show's quote unquote dunce,
Yeah.
but that's really fun,
Yeah.
because they're, yeah, the way that they would interact and the situations that they would put each other in would
Yeah.
be really interesting and wild and fun.
Yeah. Winston would like piss Sheldon off consistently because Winston just be doing weird shit just
Yeah.
consistently.
And I don't know how Sheldon feels about cats, but I assume he doesn't like them.
I'm pretty sure he probably allergic. No one
And
told him.
Winston and his
Yeah.
fucking cat.
Yeah. I forgot that nigga name. Mr. something.
It's gonna come to me in the middle of the night.
It is. It's
Um,
definitely gonna hit me.
can't remember his cat's name, but yeah, like I love Schmidt, and Schmidt needs to be in something.
I know. I thought about Schmidt doing the sort of the same building, maybe not a university, but building a way for him to be around black folks. But he's pretty much like that in the neighborhood,
Yeah,
which is a really good show. And
and in the
so,
neighborhood, he's very different from,
yeah, very different from Schmidt. Very
but
more like calm, a little more calm, not as
a lot more
twitchy and
friendly and, yeah, like
yeah,
wanting to engage, as opposed
yeah,
to Schmidt, who's like, get the fuck off me.
yeah. Schmidt is like very highbrow too, like very high taste. If a certain doesn't meet a certain taste, he like looks down on it.
Yeah.
Um, what
Um,
y'all theme songs? I almost did Family Matters or Jamie Foxx. I just wanted to go black as hell, so I thought Jamie Foxx.
that makes sense.
But
I would have had to. I would have had to think about it if I would have had to go in a different direction. But George Lopez is, like, based on the idea that I had. George Lopez was all that was it.
yeah, that
Like
makes sense.
I had that locked in,
Yeah,
because the whole like just jumping on a trampoline thing with the characters that I picked just sounds, yeah. Or it would have, the other option would have been, it would have been a theme song that's like got some bounce to it, because Ted be dancing.
yeah, he did.
And so, yeah, like, I could just see Ted in the opening credit, like similar to Peacemaker.
Yeah, I was
Like,
just about to. I thought it's Peacemaker. Yeah,
yeah, like Ted would just be just going in, just
like all of
cooking.
them doing a dance number. Ted is laughing, and the rest of them are like stone faced, but doing the dance number. That'd be hilarious.
Yeah,
I
but
was saying,
I wanted
and
it to. I didn't want it to be just a regular, like most sitcoms where it's just scenes of that person and then they smile at the camera and it shows their
Yeah,
name.
captions.
Um,
Yeah,
like I wanted it to be like the like interactive and like continuous shot of some kind, or like they're doing something.
that makes sense.
I was saying, I definitely. I mean, I told you it was either between girlfriends or living single.
I would
Um,
have went living single, but I see what you did with girlfriends. Honestly, because I didn't remember the girlfriends theme originally, but now I remember it.
yeah, I mean, it would just be like them slow walking, towards the camera.
Right? Yeah.
Uh, yeah,
Or
very
like my
simple.
other option would have been maybe like Fresh Prince of Bel Air, where like it's being wrapped through and like you're watching a scene happen or you're watching a story be told as to how we got here.
That's how I like different worlds, because like got different sets. They're just
Like it's a
following it.
walkthrough.
Yeah, Sheldon's just walking through all these different environments. But yeah, I thought, hey man, all three of us came with good ideas.
Yeah,
Um,
you're right. Should we go back over 'em one more time for the people?
I
Yeah,
think
because
so.
we've named a bunch of extra stuff now.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, we bunch gave him like 7 concepts.
okay, so in my show, we are going to have Ron Swanson, Rosa Diaz, and Ted Lasso working for a PI firm, or like they're going to be in a PI situation. So Rosa and Ron are going to be private investigators. Ted is their boss. And, it's just going to be about the adventures that they go on, the jobs they get, and the competition and rivalry that Ron and Rosa have going on. And the opening sequence will be a George Lopez esque jumping on trampolines to Carlos Santana.
Carlos Santana. I don't know why I was funny, but yeah.
Like
Um,
Rosa would act as the main character. Like she'd be who we follow more than anyone else in my head.
that's a good point. That's a good distinction. Um, all right, for me, Sheldon from Big Bang Theory. To be clear, Big Bang Theory. Sheldon, my other two characters, Bernie Mac and older TJ Henderson from Smart Guy. And the theme would be different world, obviously college environment, things of that nature. Essentially, Sheldon goes to starts is a director of a STEM program at Howard University, which is an HBCU, historically black college, and TJ Henderson is his best friend. TJ is the professor over African American history. Bernie Mac is a janitor at the college, and he's also TJ's uncle. Essentially, the premise is Sheldon coming into contact with actual like what blackness is, the history, what's going on today, teaching black students things of that nature, while also TJ and black people in general coming kind of in contact and being more accepting of someone who has like I don't know if it's autism, I don't know if it's tics, whatever it may be, but kind of just getting more familiar with that. So, and Sheldon would be the main character.
Okay. I had Ava Coleman from Abbott Elementary, Issa Rae from Insecure, Tasha Mack from The Game, using the girlfriend's theme, and the show will be set in LA, following just the lives of these three women, through the working environments, the dating life, just the everyday life that they go through, the ups and downs, and yeah, that would be my show, and we on HBO. So,
Nice.
anything else?
We need the folks to let us know which one is better. Do we need to do a poll eventually?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
we can
yeah.
do a
We'll
little
have
bit
to
of a
do a
poll.
poll.
Yeah,
And yeah, let us know which show you would rather watch. And if you have your own ideas for, three characters you would love to see put together, let us know that as well.
Yeah, we would love to hear what ideas you would come up with for a sitcom. So who you'd put in it and what the situation would be. Like set the scene.
yeah. It's a breakdown.
Yeah. So yeah, let us know. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, let us know there.
You keep
And
calling it Twitter. Is Twitter a thing still?
my bad, my bad. We're gonna call it Twitter until I get tired of calling it Twitter. X. Find us on X. You
Yeah,
know, X's. Yeah. I don't know. This X is kind of whack though. But
it
whatever.
is one. Yeah.
Yeah. Facebook and Instagram. Facebook and Instagram. That's where you can really find us at. Let us know there. Mainly Facebook. I enjoy the Facebook group. But yeah, that's where we get the most interaction.
We're starting to get more active on IG. We're
You're
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Just created the IG account.
Yep.
we're
So
getting in there. It's just yeah, it's just growing. Help us grow.
you're right.
Yeah, please
You're
follow.
right. So with that being said, we're never duplicated.
Always appreciate it.
And forever melanated.